This is the QN90C, and it might be one of the most impressive non-OLED TVs this year from Samsung. It's QLED, HDR10+, it gets very bright, it has a built-in Xbox Game Pass and a solar-powered remote, and it goes up to 85 inches. I'm Kevin the Tech Ninja, and let's talk about it. With any Samsung TV, they go on sale often, so make sure you're using my links below for the best possible pricing. It also helps the channel as I get a little commission off the sale. The first thing you notice about this TV is that it looks great. Samsung's design language is very loud with this TV. It has those signature thin bezels and the stand is minimalistic and sturdy. The back of the TV has a textured finish that hides the cables and ports. This TV does not have the One Connect box that we're really getting accustomed to at Samsung. It has a more traditional setup with the cables going into TV directly. You have 4 HDMI 2.1 ports, 3 USB ports, optical audio output, Ethernet port, and antenna input. The HDMI ports support eARC, VRR, and 4K at 120Hz, which is great for gaming, and we'll definitely talk about gaming later in the video. I will say not having a One Connect box is a disappointment for me. The One Connect box lets you plug in all of your devices into it directly, and it just has one cable going to the TV. This helps with the ease of plugging stuff in and also clean installations, and not having this on this TV is kind of a disappointment. You can use the remote to access Samsung's smart platform Tizen OS. It's pretty smooth and it's somewhat intuitive, and there's a lot of apps and streaming services. You can also use the remote to control other smart devices in your home if you're in the SmartThings ecosystem. Now this year, Tizen OS did make some changes to the UI, and it's different than my personal TV that has older software. The newer interface, I'm not really a big fan of, maybe because I'm used to how mine is, but for what it's worth, it's just not favorable for me. I feel like I can't pinpoint where stuff is anymore. But I won't ding Samsung too hard, as it could just be me not being comfortable with it. Now let's talk about the picture quality on this TV. This TV has a QLED panel with mini LED backlighting and local dimming. This means it can produce incredible brightness and contrast that makes HDR content pop. The peak brightness can reach over 2000 nits in some scenes, which is the brightest TV I've tested ever. The contrast ratio is also very high thanks to local dimming that can dim or turn off individual zones of LEDs behind the screen. The black levels are deep and uniform, and there's minimal blooming or haloing around bright objects. Usually brighter TVs that are QLED, you may see this. Here, with as many zones that it has, it does a great job at keeping that at bay. Brightness is also important because of rooms that has lots of windows and daytime watching. That right there can ruin a viewing experience, so having a TV this bright makes this TV ideal for those type of rooms. The color performance of this TV is also excellent. This QLED panel can display a wide color gamut that covers most of the DCI P3 color space. The colors are vibrant and accurate, and they don't lose saturation at wide viewing angles thanks to its anti-glare coating on the screen. The motion handling of this TV is very good. The response time is very fast, so there's little blur or ghosting in fast-moving scenes. The TV also has a 120Hz refresh rate that supports variable frame rate, VRR, and it's using FreeSync Premium Pro and G-Sync compatibility modes. So what that means is this TV is made for gaming, and that means you'll get the most out of your games even if you're on PC, as it has all of those features that will help it look the best, play the best. I did get a chance to play some of the games with the built-in Xbox Game Cloud, and they played really well, but also when you connect a game to the 2.1 HDMI port on the PS5, I mean, it looks great, it sounds great, it moves great, has low latency, HDR pops in really good locations. I mean, this TV is great for gaming. I haven't used a TV that is better for gaming than this one. Only thing that would surpass it would be like a dedicated gaming monitor, but those are two different segments. The upscaling performance of this TV is also impressive. Samsung is using something called the Neural Quantum Processor, and that upscales lower content to 4K using AI and machine learning. But when watching a YouTube video that's 1080p or lower, it does look pretty good on this TV. Not as crisp as 4K, but it's not as blocky as other TVs would be. My understanding is that Samsung can recognize what the image is and then use the computer information to enhance the image and straighten out the loose jaggies, adds a little anti-aliasing around it. It should produce a much better picture than what you'd see on TVs that doesn't have this. And in my experience, yeah, content does look better even if it's not 4K compared to another TV that doesn't have this. The sound quality on this TV, just like other TVs, is decent, but it's not exceptional. The TV does have 2 speakers and 2 woofers that delivers okay sound. However, you should buy a soundbar. Even a $250 soundbar will sound better than this. But if you do buy a higher end Samsung soundbar, it can utilize the TV speakers to make yourself a surround sound, so you can have a soundbar and it still would use the TV speakers to help out too. It doesn't have Dolby Vision support, so a lot of shows shot on Netflix is Dolby Vision, so you won't get that codec, but still watching that content on this TV still looks pretty good. And unless you have a keen eye for that stuff, this is something that you wouldn't really notice. There are a lot of TVs in the market right now, but Samsung did separate itself from others in the QLED market with performance and features. But the retail price of $2,800 for a 65-inch is pretty steep. Now, use my links down below to nab a discount on this TV because the price of this TV will change dramatically as time goes on. If you want to know more about TVs, then click on this playlist.